Welcome back to Old School New School Podcast, episode 88.
I'm Scott and I'm old school.
I'm Chester and I'm New School, and today we'll be talking about the Cowboys.
You know what's sad?
What's sad?
We can't complain about Mike McCarthy and how lazy of a coach he is anymore for the Cowboys.
Well, it's good when he's not on the Packers.
Oh, it's great. But it was so fun because he's the laziest coach who could be a great coach. He's just too lazy. But he's not on the team anymore.
Yeah, he's not.
Brian Schottenheimer, offensive coordinator last year, has been promoted. He is the head coach.
Yep.
I don't know much about this guy.
I don't either.
They had an okay offense, middle of the road, but Dak was hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So that's that. 7-10 record.
Yep.
Middle of the pack offense, defense was horrific. What happened to the defense?
I have no idea.
Weren't they really good the previous year?
Well, they were good, and then the Packers beat them.
Oh, that's right. After the Packers destroyed them, they never recovered.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, they've got some solid players. Micah Parsons, great.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb's really great. Is he a top 5?
I think
receiver?
so. 100%.
I think so too.
100%.
Man, he's good. And Dak Prescott. Thoughts on Dak Prescott?
I think here's what I'll say. I think he might be able to flourish within the non-Mike McCarthy system. I'm going to give him that. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to shine away from all the Dak Prescott hate. And I'm going to say maybe under this system where the receivers are not running the same routes since Mike McCarthy made his first playbook.
Since you're the Packers.
Yeah. I think they can win games. Also, McCarthy with his whole either I don't want to run the ball or I don't want to pass the ball situation, and he's an very interesting coach when he doesn't care. But yeah, I think they have a good roster. I think the problem comes to when you have to pay people, and but that's besides the point. The roster on paper looks good.
Yep, and they brought in
New
Pickens.
coach. Yep, they brought in George Pickens.
So they got the dual receivers, unless Pickens kind of flips out.
He just needs to play football. He just needs
that's a tough thing to get the receivers to do.
Very good when he plays the football.
I agree with you on Dak Prescott. Not being under McCarthy's thumb may be the best thing for that guy.
100%.
I think the two most important things to a quarterback are offensive line and running game.
Yeah.
You look great if those two things are doing well.
Yeah.
You can pass the ball wherever you want, whenever you want. He just has to cut down on that worst mistake at the worst possible moment.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's become kind of a habit for him. But hopefully he can break it. I got nothing against the guy. He seems like a pretty solid guy, person.
Yeah.
He's a very good quarterback.
Yeah.
He just needs to be a great quarterback.
And I think, like we've said, I think you just said again, I think the McCarthy system really just messed him up and kind of put him in like a place where it made him like not become comfortable in the pocket or as a quarterback. So I think without that, he might have more chance to flourish. All right, should we talk about their draft?
I don't know anything about their draft. They took a guard in the first round.
Tyler Booker, guard out of Alabama. Don't know, but I mean, maybe if your defense is pretty bad, you probably would want some.
Listen, a guard out of Alabama, I'm gonna give it the good chance that he has the ability to be a very, very good lineman.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's a great lineman, but.
And as I just said, the line's important.
Yeah, 100%.
And then they took Donovan Izuraku, we're going to go with.
Yeah.
Defensive end out of Boston College in the second round, who I believe was projected to go in the first round.
Yeah, we had him in our mock going in the first round.
Yeah,
late first.
He was listed. I don't know much about him. Maybe they found a little diamond here. Like they got some value.
Yeah.
whatever 10, 12 picks into the second round where they got this kid that nobody else took.
Yeah.
Yeah. On paper, great. But
on paper,
everybody's a great pick
right
now. Everybody is a great draft pick.
But you know what I will say? For having an injured quarterback and a terrible defense, having a 7-10 record with Mike McCarthy as your head coach isn't a horrible sign for the future. When your starting quarterback is hurt, and he'll be, you assume that he'll be healthy,
and the division was better than
that's true. That is true. Like
Eagles, obviously,
right.
They
split with Washington though,
and Washington was
great,
kicking above their weight. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see if they take a dip.
And then there's the Giants.
Oh, the Giants. Anyway,
but yes,
we'll see.
Yeah.
Like, they've been getting dinged a lot because of who they picked as their head coach. That, maybe that's a really good thing that they didn't have a splashy, huge hire.
Yeah.
With, like...
That is an in guy.
Everybody's talking about, oh, they're going to be great. Like, maybe they're trying to fly under the radar. Jerry Jones is not a very good general manager. That's my opinion. But let's be honest. They haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since the star was a star. They've had some good teams. They've had some, blunders. Tony Romo.
Yeah.
They could easily be a playoff team. They could a roster that could easily be a playoff team. It all depends on how great staying normal with the injuries, not crazy injuries. Like, Dak can't get hurt again. Like, he's been getting hurt. Has he been hurt every year?
Well, he had that I don't know if it was 21 or 22 where he had the broken leg, where he broke his leg and then
shoulder stuff, right?
And then some shoulder. But I don't think he wasn't injured. He was in 23-24 season or the 23 season. He was pretty high up, and he was in the
well, they played the Packers in the playoff.
Right. They were they were the second overall seed.
Yeah, he may have missed a couple games that year.
So they were good. I mean, he was good. He played good.
Yeah. I don't think I don't know. I think they need a running back.
Yeah.
That was kind of a mistake. They let Pollard go.
Yeah, right.
And
he was decent
they brought Zeke.
Sorry.
Which was holy cow. I mean, all
dude,
love,
Zeke was great.
All love for Zeke, but that
2016.
Dude, he ran out of gas four seasons ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, slightly tougher division. You're currently listed number 3 in that division, and you you need to be in top 2 to get in the playoffs with the other amount of teteams that are
also the NFC also being in general pretty high powered.
Yeah. So it's going to be tough, but they can do it. They can get there. I don't know how much damage they can do, but we'll see. It's always tough to see with a new coach and everything. I think so. That's about it. I mean, if you're a Cowboys fan, are you optimistic?
I feel like you could be.
I think you are.
I think with the team you have on paper and with the whole going 7-10 with an injured quarterback, I think you definitely have some hope for the future.
Worry about the defense a little bit.
Yeah, but
you want them to bounce back.
Yeah,
you don't need them to be top 10.
Right.
You need middle, 16, 17, because this offense should be able to put up points.
Yeah, but when you're in that bottom third, it's just not good at all.
But if they start going 3 and out, and this defense doesn't step up, that's when you get into trouble. But I think as optimistic, cautiously optimistic, hoping for the best. You never know. That's about it.
That's it.
All right, there you go, Cowboys fans. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Don't come at us in the comments, but have a good week.
Yeah.
Peace.